Are you tired of waking up tired and unmotivated? Want to triple your productivity in 2023? I'm Taylor Morgan, aka the Captain, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through my Cages morning ritual that I use to maximize productivity. If you're new to my channel, I quit my high-paying job in 2019 to pursue my passion of helping guys like you optimize their health, happiness, and productivity through the Captain's Lifestyle program. Now, in 2023, I'm on track to hit my first multiple six-figure year without burning out. Tim Ferriss famously said, if you win the morning, you win the day. Thankfully, I took this advice and developed what I've found to be my most optimal start to the day, the Cages morning ritual. I created this ritual after years of struggling to get out of bed, waking up groggy, usually hitting snooze, and scrolling on my phone before reluctantly starting my day. Now, after studying the world's top performers and experimenting through trial and error, I simplified my perfect morning to the 5 most important habits I now incorporate to wake up with energy that lasts all day and allows me to get more done before most people even get out of bed. Before we dive into the Cages morning ritual, I would like to make a distinction between routine and ritual. I prefer to switch out routine for ritual because for me, my morning is truly a sacred part of my day. Saying ritual adds an extra layer of commitment and dedication to the process. All right, now let's dive into the Cages morning ritual. The C stands for cold exposure. As soon as my alarm goes off, I get up and get cold. Yes, it's hard. That's the point. Yes, there are days when I don't want to do it and would rather stay warm and cozy under the covers. Guess what? I do it anyway. Here's why. Cold exposure triggers a biological protective mechanism called hormesis, which makes you more resilient to stress. Just like training a muscle and becoming stronger over time, incorporating cold exposure first thing in the morning when you least want to do it supercharges your nervous system and builds the mental fortitude needed to conquer anything else that's thrown your way. For me, making the decision to get in an ice bath or take a cold shower first thing in the morning, no matter what, has dramatically improved my discipline. P.S. The word decide comes from Latin, literally meaning to cut off. That's the power of making the decision to implement the Cages morning ritual. You are cutting off your old habits and committing to a new version of yourself. Getting cold can also raise your dopamine levels up to 200%, which will increase your motivation and drive. Other benefits of cold exposure include reduced inflammation, faster muscle recovery, and a boost in metabolism and fat burning. Believe me, I understand that getting in cold water is uncomfortable. So here's a pro tip. Breathe through the discomfort. The more you resist or try to avoid the cold, the more it will suck and the more you'll stress yourself out. Understand that cold is simply a feeling, neither good nor bad. It just is. You get to decide how you let it affect you. Plus, after you experience the energy boost and dopamine rush of the cold water, you'll start to crave it. So, welcome the cold. Embrace it and breathe. I like to practice 4x4 box breathing, which is a 4-count inhale, 4-count hold, 4-count exhale, 4-count hold. The A stands for affirmations. Changing my old habits that I had done for years, like waking up and checking my phone, was difficult, and I would often fall back into my old patterns. This left me discouraged and feeling like a failure each time I slipped up. I would get down on myself and say things like, I can't do anything right, or maybe I should just stop trying. After a decade of studying personal development, I now understand the power of our language. We can turn our whole life around just by upgrading the story we're telling ourselves every day. It works like magic, literally. When you hear abracadabra, what comes to mind? Magic, right? Well, abracadabra is translated from ancient Aramaic, literally meaning, with my words, I create. When I started to learn more about the power of words and how I talk to myself, my life changed forever. I began to repeat positive affirmations to myself every morning. This began to reprogram my mind to consistently focus my attention on becoming my higher self instead of falling back into my old thought patterns. I was creating, with my words, a new version of myself. Abracadabra. To create powerful affirmations for yourself, think about your greatest accomplishments and ask what they mean about you. For example, I quit my high-paying job to build my own brand. This means that I am courageous. I decide. I trust my intuition, and I prioritize freedom and fulfillment. Those are some of my affirmations. The G stands for growth. This means any type of education, podcasts, reading, courses, etc. As a busy entrepreneur, personal development can often get pushed to the side. I've definitely been guilty of saying things like, I don't have time to read, which is complete bullshit. We always have time for our priorities. I've determined that personal growth is a priority for me, so I now carve out time every morning to learn something new. As Benjamin Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. The E stands for exercise. Now, this doesn't have to be an intense workout, just something that gets your body moving and gets the blood and lymph flowing. I typically do a quick yoga or qigong flow, bodyweight movements like pull-ups, push-ups, and squats, or go for a walk. This is one of the key factors that allows me to stay lean year-round because exercising while fasted improves your body composition. It also increases blood flow and elevates your core body temperature, which helps wake you up. The S represents the most important part of the cage's morning ritual, sun exposure. Watching the sunrise is, in my personal and professional opinion, one of the best things you can do for your overall health, happiness, and productivity. Why? Because light exposure is the most important factor for optimizing your circadian rhythm, which is your body's sleep-wake cycle. Optimizing your circadian rhythm has many benefits, too many to cover in this video. In short, watching the sunrise shuts off melatonin production, which wakes you up in the morning, and resets melatonin production for 14 to 16 hours later. This means the more sun you get in the morning, the better you sleep at night. Sunlight also raises serotonin and dopamine, which will boost your mood, improve your memory, and increase your focus and drive. So there you have it, the cage's morning ritual. I personally set aside around 1 hour, sometimes more, sometimes less, for my morning ritual. If you're crunched on time, you can stack these together and get everything done in a half hour or less. For example, after you read your affirmations and hop in the cold shower, you can stack growth, exercise, and sunlight together by going for a morning walk while listening to a podcast. If you want even more lifestyle optimization hacks and habits, click the link in the description and join the crew, my high-performance men's community. As a crew member, you get access to our private Telegram chat, weekly coaching calls, monthly masterminds, and monthly giveaways from my sponsors, all of which I've hand-selected because they help me operate at peak performance. For example, these custom nootropics from Nootopia. I took BrainFlow and Apex before recording this podcast. And if you're looking to optimize your creativity, focus, mental clarity, Nootopia is the answer because they are 100% customized. So when you order, you fill out a questionnaire that is based on the Braverman test, which is considered to be the gold standard when measuring neurotransmitters. So based on your answers to that assessment, they custom tailor each formulation specific to your imbalances. It's phenomenal. And each subsequent order keeps getting better and better and better because you can further customize it. It's incredible. Click the link in the description. Use code CaptainMorgan to get yourself a discount. Another one of my sponsors is Ketone IQ, specifically their new shots. I took one of these before recording this episode as well because it also provides mental clarity. I love stacking Nootopia and Ketone IQ together, especially first thing in the morning. It's just like my brain gets supercharged and I can just stay focused and dialed on whatever my task is. Also, Aries is another one of my sponsors. This is EMF mitigation. Now, this doesn't directly block any EMFs, but it instead modulates the chaotic energy and makes it more biocompatible to the body. So that basically means that the EMFs no longer harm you. And if you're not yet familiar, EMFs can cause things like brain fog, headaches, fatigue, the last thing you want as an entrepreneur, right? Lastly, this video is brought to you by Lambs, which is this beanie that I'm rocking right now, which actually does block up to 99% of EMFs. Specifically for my brain, it's protecting my billion-dollar supercomputer from the oxidative stress that EMFs have been proven to cause. If you're interested in any of these sponsors, either join the crew and get a monthly giveaway for free, or use the links in the description to get yourself a discount.